Hello. Welcome to day one of our Jessie Tree stories. Today Emma is telling us a story about where the world came from. It's a story that tells us that the world and all the animals in the world and life itself is a big gift from God. It tells us that the world is beautiful. It tells us that the world is worth looking after well. Listen to Emma's story.
Did you know that there are some presents that are so big that nobody notices them? They're so huge that they can be hard to see. They can be so hard to see that you have to know that they are there, you have to go right back to the beginning, or maybe a little before the beginning. In the beginning, there wasn't very much really. In the beginning, there was nothing, except perhaps an enormous smile. But there was nobody there to see it. Then, on the first day, God gave us the gift of light. Now there wasn't just darkness, but there was darkness and light. Now I don't mean just the light that comes from a light bulb, or the light that comes from a car light at night. I don't mean just this light and that light. I mean all light that is light. God gave us the gift of light, from which all other light comes from. God saw the light and said, "It is good." And that was the end of the first day. On the second day, God gave us the gift of water. Now I don't mean just the water in a glass of water, or in a bath, or a shower. I don't even mean just the water in a river or a lake. I don't even mean just the water in the oceans or that falls from the sky as rain. I mean all water that is water. This is the firmament. It separates the water above from the water below. When God saw the water, he said, "It is good." And that was the end of the second day. On the third day, God gave us the gift of dry land and gave us the gift of the green and growing things. When God saw the land and the green and growing things, he said, "It is good." And that was the end of the third day. On the fourth day, God gave us the gift of day and night, our way of telling time. This is the great light that rules over the day, the sun, and these are the great lights that rule over the night, the moon and the stars. When God saw the day and the night, our way of keeping time, he said, "It is good." And that was the end of the fourth day. On the fifth day, God gave us the gift of all the creatures that fly in the sky. Not just the birds, but all the creatures that fly in the sky. And he gave us the gift of all the creatures that swim and live in the sea. All the creatures. When God saw the creatures that fly in the sky and all the creatures that swim and live in the sea, God said, "It is good." And that was the end of the fifth day. On the sixth day, God gave us a gift of all the creatures that walk on the earth. Creatures with 2 legs like you and me, and creatures with many legs. When God saw the creatures with 2 legs and all the creatures with many legs, and looked back at all the gifts from all the other days, God said, "It is very good." And that was the end of the 6th day. On the 7th day, God rested and gave us the gift of a day of rest, and to remember and to say thank you for all the gifts of all the other days. There's nothing here, because people go to different places to remember and be thankful. You might go to your backyard, under a tree, to church, or in your room. You might like to go near the mountains or by the ocean. I don't know where your place is, only you know. I do know that this day is so special that Christians sometimes mark it with a sign of the cross, and the Jewish people mark it with a sign of a star, the Star of David.
I hope you've enjoyed our story. I expect you can guess what our symbol is for the Jesse tree today. Yes, it's the world. But more than that, it's God's world. Goodbye.